Hey, so if you're thinking about moving to the Seattle area, you may be feeling a bit overwhelmed because, hey, moving is overwhelming and relocating is even harder. In this video, we're going to break down the steps of your move into 6 easy chunks so that you can get your move taken care of quickly and easily. I want you to understand the whole process, and that's what we're going to get into here. So my name is Emily Cressey. I'm a real estate agent in this area, and I love helping people relocate and move to this area. In fact, I get calls and emails, texts all the time from you guys, people who are watching these videos on YouTube. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, and please feel free to reach out. I love helping people find their next home in the Seattle area, and including matching them up with the right location. So if it's your first time to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and check out some of the video tours of all the different neighborhoods that you might be interested in. This video is going to be a little bit more logistical. I actually shot it in my car on a snow day when my power went out, and so most of it will be slightly different footage than this, but the audio in the first part was bad, so I wanted to reshoot it and get that over to you in a way that was fun for you to listen to. So let's jump in, and let me know in the comments below if these are helpful. If you had different questions or different expectations when you click this video, type them in the comments box. I actually love reading those things, and it gives me good ideas for new videos. Plus, I always answer them, and I might make a video just for you. So let me know how I can help. I'm here to help you, and enjoy the video. Take care. So with no further ado, let us move into the 6 steps that will make it so much easier for you to move to Seattle. And this is really going to be kind of an order of operations of what needs to happen. So the first step is research. You need to research what areas you think you might be interested in. You can do a lot of that online if you're comfortable, and these videos are meant to help you with exactly that. But there's only so much you can do online. I find that if you have the time and energy and effort, most people feel happier and more comfortable if they actually come to the area, whether that's flying in for the weekend, driving in, just to see themselves what it's actually like and get a feel for the areas, because making a home purchase is a big decision, and you want to make sure that you like where it is that you're ending up. I have had people buy homes sight unseen, and it's always kind of this, I hope they like it type of feeling, like, oh, we closed, like, here are the keys, let's go there for the first time. It's a little bit nerve-wracking for myself, for me as the agent. So just so you know, I am happy to facilitate both. If we do any kind of like video tours, I try to be brutally honest. Hopefully you'll see that in my videos here. But sometimes what's important or annoying to me is different from what's important or annoying to you. So anytime you can actually come and have seen the area and get your own sense of it, I think that's really useful. If that's not something that you're in a position to do, these videos that's exactly why they're here. That's the next best thing. So when you're visiting, you can think about where you like to go in your free time. Are you like driving your dog to the dog park? Are you taking your kids to play on the slides? Are you walking to brunch or coffee? Do you head to the woods to hike or ski? So we can give you a guide of lots of fun tourist things for you to do in town, and I will certainly provide that to you. But when you're actually here for house hunting, I always suggest checking out what your personal local haunts would be. Drive to the schools, the grocery stores, the neighborhood restaurants, the gym, the library, other places you could see yourself visiting regularly, so you get an idea of what it's like and whether that's actually a place that you would feel comfortable. And again, this is what I do on my videos, but doing it yourself is always the best thing. So the second thing to do is make a list of what's important to you. This is sort of your wish list for your house and your neighborhood. And then, kind of identifying what's a must have and what's a nice to have knowing that most people only get about 80% of what they want. And that your mileage may vary if you're very picky and you have 100 things on your list. That sort of starts to create a needle in the haystack situation, which makes it hard to find everything. So think about what's most important to you and kind of rank stack those. I don't know, there's a cool technical term for that. But so think about the trade-offs, right? If you want a bigger house, that might be harder to find close to the city. So the trade-off would be bigger house versus shorter commute. Also more expensive house closer to the city versus less expensive house further away. In this day and age, you've got to ask whether you'll be working from home. Do you need a home office space? How often will be using it? Do you need a lot of filing? Do you do everything on a little laptop? How important are the schools? Maybe you don't have kids and it doesn't matter. Maybe you like to have good school districts for the resale value, even if you don't have kids. And some people are like, the kids can go where the schools are because this is the best house we can afford. And it's important for our personal financial wealth and prosperity to own a property and getting into something that we can afford, even if it's not the fanciest thing ever. Also think about your hobbies. Do you need space for things like a vegetable or flower garden? Do you want a lawn for playing soccer? Do you want a basketball hoop? Do you knit or sew? Do you need a sewing room? Do you need a lot of space in a garage? And remember that we have hilly, woodsy areas and we have urban high-rise areas. So it's important to match the area that you're looking in with your desired lifestyle. Overall, the Seattle Bellevue area has a very high population density, lots of homes close together. So if you want something like a big acreage, a mini farm, or a horse property, that's going to be harder to find, and you might have to locate that in a more remote or more expensive area. If you're like me and you just want that, backyard farm where you can grow some raspberries, raise some chickens and rabbits and bees and whatever else I grow, you can get a lot done in an urban setting. And unlike some parts of the world, but master planned communities with really picky homeowners associations, like the lawn has to be just right or that type of a thing. In this area, people are very open to naturescaping, which means not weeding your yard, right? You don't water your lawn, you don't kill your dandelions. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can have a vegetable garden in your front yard. There's lots of flexibility here with that. So think about what it is that you want and make that list of what your priorities are and what you're willing to let go of. Knowing that, and this happens more often than not, people come to me with a big list. They say, we want da, 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 da. We go look at 10 homes and they say, oh, actually, I like this home. We're going to make an offer over here. And that home has very little resemblance to the actual list. But it's good for you, I think, as a starting place to give some thought to what it is that you're prioritizing and why. So after you've done those two things, the third step is to choose a real estate agent. And it may seem like it's really early in the process. You're still months from being able to make the move. You don't even know for sure if you are making the move, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to say it's still a good idea to build a relationship with a real estate agent you trust in the area. Obviously I would love to apply for the job. I'm a Seattle real estate agent. If you like me and my style from these videos, feel free to look us up at homeproassociates.com and inquire about whether we have space to accommodate you and your home search, right? Because we do have really busy seasons, but we'd love to work with you. And these videos are one of the main ways that we meet people. That being said, my number one goal working with clients who are relocating to the area is to really match them up with the home and lifestyle that they're looking for. Seattle, as you probably have found out, is a huge metro area, millions of people, lots of different neighborhoods with different flavors. So it can be hard to know just by looking on the map what area you're likely to fall in love with when you're there. So I really try hard to find out, from your lists that I just described, what you're looking for and make a match with my clients on both the house and the neighborhood that they like. And I've even gone so far as door knocking, mailing, calling by phone into certain neighborhoods where my clients want to live, but we can't actually find houses for sale at the time. So we will go the extra mile for you to make sure you find something that you're happy with, whether you plan to live there forever or turn your home into an investment in a few years, or maybe you just see your house in Seattle as a stepping stone toward bigger, better things in the future. Whatever your situation is, we can help match that up with a realistic sense of what's available and the logistics to get you into something. It's really important that we don't underestimate those logistics. You need to have a transition plan to make sure that you have a methodology from getting from where you are now to where you are heading. So we want to make sure that we have talked about the strategy behind all of those steps, and there are different ways to approach it. You could sell your current house, live in a short-term rental while you're looking for another place. Maybe you don't have a place right now and it's as simple as terminating your lease and moving out here. I can coordinate with your selling agent in your current location, find out when your closing is going to be and work that way, or even find a mortgage broker who can give you a loan based on your equity of your current home. Use that to buy your next home, and then once you're settled here, go ahead and put your previous house on the market. There are a lot of different options and ways to approach it. So knowing exactly what your situation is something that we can help you with. You don't have to figure out and muscle your way through all the steps on your own and research it all yourself. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go farther, go together. And so we are happy to go together with you, put our experience and expertise up to bat to help you with some of these things so you don't get so overwhelmed. And that's why I like to build the relationship early on, even before you're ready to buy. So step number 4 is talk with your mortgage broker. I mentioned the mortgage broker in the last step, and this is really a key player on your team. As you can see, I'm very team-based, and I think that that's important for getting people who are best at what you need to have done. So if you would like me to put you in touch with a mortgage broker I work with, I have several great folks, and they're all fantastic. I'd be happy to make a recommendation to you. I also think it's a good idea to go ahead and do this as soon as possible, even before you know for sure that you're moving, for a couple of reasons. First, it'll let you know how much house you can afford, so you're going shopping in a budget where you'll be comfortable with the monthly payment. Next, if there's any kind of unforeseen problem with your credit or your employment history or your finances, it's better to find that out sooner rather than later, so you have time to get it fixed, right? You might need 2 years on the job. You might need, to pay off an overdue bill. I had a call from collections myself actually last month, and it shocked me because I always pay my bills, but it turned out that the utility company for one of my rental houses had sold my account to collections without notifying me, and apparently they had been mailing bills to the wrong address. I never got notified that there was a bill or that there was an overdue bill, and they never took it upon themselves to call me and let me know. So sometimes crazy stuff can happen and you don't even realize that something might have been recorded against your credit. So it's good to know about that sooner rather than later, especially if you need to buy on a tight time frame. And finally, I'll say that mortgage brokers have a lot of cool programs up their sleeves that can help you with things like reducing down payment, reducing interest rate, using your current equity to buy the next property before selling your old house. So there are a lot of cool things that you can do strategy-wise that they're going to turn you on to, and you just don't have to figure out everything on your own and line it all up for us on a silver platter. We're the professionals. We're here to help walk you through whatever needs to happen. So we want to see you happily settled in Seattle, and we're going to make sure that we put together a good team that's going to help you do that. So the next step 5, is to actually visit some homes. You can work with your real estate agent to see some property either by video tour or while you're here in town. And getting inside those properties will give you a great way of telling what the property is actually like, and it kind of increases the reality factor of the situation compared to just looking at it online. The brokers have the house polished up, they have the wide angle lenses, they have the fancy lighting. You can always look at Google Map View and stuff like that, but there's something about getting inside the house to see if there's a bad smell or a crazy neighbor with cars in the driveway or barking dog, or sometimes a property that looks like too good to be true online, it actually is too good to be true, and when you get out there to see it, you find out why. So having that reality check of getting inside the properties is really helpful, again, whether on video or in person. And I recommend most people start out by looking at a broad spectrum. So if they're looking in several different neighborhoods. They might be looking in Bothell and Linwood and Kenmore and Shoreline, right? And that's a large geographic area, but feel free to look at 2 or 3 houses in each sector to kind of give you a sense of what your money can buy, you know, how much house you get, how much neighborhood you get, and those types of things. And then as you drive through these neighborhoods, get to the houses, you'll kind of get a feel for, you know, I really like the vibe over here, and I think we want to narrow in our search to this particular area. Starting broad is totally fine, especially if you're not sure what you want, which it's hard to be when you're from out of town, and things will definitely become clearer for you as you move forward with more properties under your belt. So don't get overwhelmed. By the time that most people have looked at about 10 homes, they have a pretty good idea of what they want. And now they're just looking to find that home that fulfills that 80% of their wish list, knowing that the idea of like the perfect dream home is somewhat of a myth. Probably there are perfect dream homes with unicorns prancing on the lawn and rainbow sparkling waterfalls and magical silver apples in the orchard. And some people find their house like that, but a lot of people find one that's good enough and it's in their price range, and they're happy enough with it that they're able to go ahead and move forward with the purchase. So, you know, some people are really picky and some aren't. I've been out with clients where the wife was willing to buy every single home. This is great, let's buy it. This is great too, let's buy this one. We looked at 5, you didn't want to buy any of them, I wanted to buy all of them, right? And so after each showing, they would go home and discuss it. They haven't found one yet. They had to put their home search on pause before deciding on anything. So the jury's still out there, but it definitely helps to be on the same page with your spouse as far as what it is that you're looking for. And number 6, make the offer. This is the moment of truth, right? You'll want to make sure you discuss your timing and flexibility with your realtor. If it's a hot market, you're not necessarily guaranteed to get the first house you put an offer on. And conversely, in a slower market, you may have some more negotiating power and be able to get a little more flexibility from the seller. So, you know, you could a typical closing time frame might be in 30 days, but you could ask to close in 45 days if you needed extra time to sell and move and that type of a thing. So having that good conversation with your realtor about the state of the market is definitely something that should be part of your research process, so you kind of know what to expect time frame wise. And at some point, you got to pull the trigger. And although timelines can vary for most people, like I said, it takes about 30 days from the time you get your property under contract to the time you get your keys. So you'll have an opportunity during that time to do your due diligence, have an inspection done on the property, have any like significant hidden defects repaired and that type of a thing. But you should not make an offer on a property until you're confident that it's what you want to move forward with. So your comfort level with the situation will vary. Some of my clients buy a house after seeing the video, and you know, that's great. Some of the clients visit town for a few weekends and choose something they like after touring 10 or 15 properties. And others move to the area, they stay in a short-term rental, get to know what's out there, and then we look and they feel a little bit less rushed. So depending on your style, you know, all of these options are out there and will work for you. So I'm happy to talk through that with you on an individual basis. If you have any additional questions about the process, you can write them in the comments and I will answer those, or, you know, we can always talk on the phone. So I love getting comments. I'll check on those and reply back to you. And if you'd like a personal consultation, you can also get on my calendar. Visit homeproassociates.com to do that. So I will look forward to chatting with you when the time is right for you. I'm here to help. Love meeting people who have seen my videos, connecting with you, man. So until then, check out these other videos that I've got lined up for you on my channel, and I will see you on the next one.